Richard KNOWLER Last updated 12:58, September 20, 2017. All Blacks props Joe Moody left and Owen Franks have played 126 tests between them. The Crusaders will look to bolster their depth at loose head and tight head until they return to Super Rugby. Injured All Blacks props Owen Franks and Joe Moody may not be seen in Super Rugby until May. Surgery to repair serious injuries means the pair must set aside 6 months to rehabilitate, although Crusaders coach Scott Robertson could extend that timeframe to guarantee they are in peak condition prior to returning to duty for the title holders. Franks recently had an operation on a troublesome Achilles tendon, while Moody went under the scalpel after damaging his shoulder during the All Blacks' 39-22 win over the Pumas in New Plymouth on September 9. They are both in the 6-month mark, but you also count a little bit of extra time before they are back playing, Robertson said. So it could be around April or May, depending on their recovery. Redmore Razor to coach against Abs Hot Topics rotation cool again. Both operations were really successful. And it's now about how hard they work to get back on the field. When the guys return, it is important they play really well. Although Sensor are yet to release the draw, Super Rugby is likely to start in late February, which means Franks and Moody could miss around 9 games. Another All Black, outside back Israel Dag, could also be facing surgery on a bung knee. A spokesman for the All Blacks said details would be made public on Friday. While the Crusaders have sufficient cover for sides of the scrum, Robertson is permitted to recruit injury replacements. This is the same rule as the one that allowed the Crusaders to select Wetu Douglas, while number 8 Kieran Reid recovered from the wrist surgery he had last summer. Robertson isn't short of contracted props, in any case. All Black Wyatt Crockett and Tim Perry, who has recently trained with the test squad, are loose head specialists. Tight heads Mike Alilatoa and Ole Jager will also be back for the 2018 season. If you were trying to put a cheerful spin on the injuries to Franks, who has played 95 tests, and Moody 31, you could say the break will at least enable them to freshen up mentally. There is no shortage of truth to this statement. Recently Franks said it took up to 5 days to mentally and physically recharge after a Super Rugby game, and stepping out of the relentless grind should have some benefits. Well, you have to look on the positive side, Robertson emphasized. The rugby seasons are 12-month cycles because the recovery and repair time at the end of the season is just as important as when you are playing. You put your body through a lot of contact over a long season. It is like a boxer, you can only take so many fights. For these guys, it is a chance to mentally refresh. Meanwhile, Robertson has already contracted about 90% of his squad. Up to 38 players can be signed up, a figure that could include 6 draft players. On top of that, there is the option of having long-term replacement player exemptions. He is looking for a third open-side flanker and a first 50th to back up incumbents Richie Mapunga and Mitch Hunt. A loose forward who can cover all back row spots and a utility back capable of playing number 10, 12, and 15 are also on the shopping list. We are really fortunate that we have retained a lot of players. It shows that you are doing something right when the retention rate is really high, Robertson noted. A lot of guys had opportunities to head away overseas for some big bucks, but they were inspired and keen to continue the success we have had. It shows how much they care about the Crusaders. Stuff.